Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, we are back with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links action, and as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we are talking about Photons. Yes, I did end up going 11-0 with Photons, although if we include the loss, I went like 15-1 or something along those lines. But real quick, I do want to mention that this was during the second stage of the KCGT. However, it was played in the first stage, so I didn't quite get to dual level max on this account, and because of that, I wasn't able to play in in the second stage. So the power level of a lot of the decks, as well as a lot of the players, was a bit weaker. However, I still went 11-0. Which shows that this strategy is competent. There were decks that I played against, like Thunder Dragons, that were incredibly powerful, and I was still able to beat them. So, real quick, this deck is free to play. I do want to talk about that first before we even get into the deck, and I want to show you all of the cards can either be gotten from the event that is currently going on, from leveling up Kite Tenjo, or from this one mini box. All of the rest of the cards are either tech cards, or they are unimportant enough to basically not be needed. So, first of all, 2 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. You need 2 to 3 Thrasher, you need 2 Photon Lizard, and you need 2 Vanisher. That's it. Realistically, you could go through this box twice and be done with this deck. Or you could go through it more than that to try to get yourself the 3rd Thrasher, which is basically the only card I would say is better at 3 of. All the rest, you basically only need 2. It's incredibly easy to go through a mini box 2 times and obtain this deck. I also don't think that this deck will ever be hit on the ban list. It's not really that good. If anything, they would buff the skill, because some of the other skills in the same vein are not as strong, are much stronger. Think Onomatopoeia, right? This skill is basically Onomatopoeia, except worse. So what you do is you return a Galaxy or Photon monster from your hand to the deck to add a Photon or Galaxy spell or trap. Really good. The downside, though, is that you can only use it once per duel, and you can only use it if you begin the duel with a deck and extra deck that contain only light monsters. You can play spells and traps, but that means that all of your monsters have to be light, including in the extra deck and including in the deck. It's bad, but it's definitely reasonable, and most likely you're not even going to be playing things like Sphere Karibo or Kiteroid, because you're more of an OTK-centric deck, trying to one turn kill your opponent. So, quickly, let's do the card by card. So first we have Photon Thrasher. It is a free special summon, just like Cyber Dragon. Then we have Photon Advancer. It's another special summon if you have another Photon card, and you can normal summon it. Pretty simple. Photon Vanisher. This card can be special summoned if you control another Photon card. Really, really useful. But also it allows you to search out this guy and add it to your hand. Now, why is this important? Because then, when this guy's in your hand, you can utilize your Photon Galaxy to return it to the deck in order to grab yourself a Photon Stream of Destruction. Okay? Pretty useful. You could also utilize this skill to return him or any other Photon card in order to grab a Galaxy Cyclone if you have it. Galaxy Cyclone is basically just a free pop 1 set card at not quick play speed, meaning if you set it, it doesn't do anything during your opponent's turn. Okay? Then we have Photon Lizard, which tributes itself to search out any of these. It's really good because it's basically just any of these other cards. That's all it is, really. You could also technically grab up your Galaxy Eyes, but there is no need to ever do that. Now, we're talking about the other core piece of this deck, which is Photon Stream of Destruction. If you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, you can target a card on the field, banish that target. Really, really good, because if you go first, it's a quick play spell, which means you can have cards that banish your opponent's cards. Not just sends them to the graveyard, banishes them, right? That you can just have, right? If you draw more than 1, it's even better. Or, going second, if you get this guy out, you can then banish back row. You can banish monsters, and you can go for the OTK really effectively. We have Cosmic Cyclone because you could either play Cosmic Cyclone or you could play Mystical Space Typhoon. It's entirely up to you. Basically, the fact that this card is a quick play spell is the big reason. I would say Mystical Space Typhoon is probably better. So if you have that, play that instead. But I only run 2. You only need 2. There aren't a lot of back row. There isn't a lot of back row right now. So there's that. Then we have Lightning Vortex. It's just a big blowout card. Sometimes you'll just win duels because of this card. So you keep it at a 1 of. Then we have Treacherous Trap Hole. All 5 of these cards are entirely optional. You can play whatever you want. You want Book of Moon? You can play Book of Moon. You want to play, you know, multiple Lightning Vortex? Go for it. I don't encourage it, but you could, right? You want to play more spell and trap card removal? Go for it. You want to play Hey Trunade instead of Treacherous? Do it. Whatever you want in these 5 slots, go for it. The rest of this is what's core. As for the extra deck, everything in here except for Galaxian is entirely optional, right? If you want... Oh, wait. I should actually definitely be playing this card. Get rid of Dragluon. This card's also good, but it's not great. This is the only card that you really, really actually care about, because what it does is it special summons a Galaxy Photon Dragon from the deck. That's it. The core combo is basically Photon Thrasher or Photon Advancer, special summon your Vanisher into this guy, Galaxian. Now you will have a Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon in your hand, and a Galaxian on the field. You return the one in your hand to the deck to special summon one from the deck in order to also have a Photon Stream of Destruction. And the Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon on the field, and the Galaxian. Now, if they have a monster, you just banish it. If they have a set spell or trap, you just banish it, right? There you go. Pretty simple. Let me show you how the deck actually works, though. Alright, so here we are up against Aster Phoenix, and I'm not going to show you every single duel in the win streak, because there were a lot that were just really basically the same thing, right? There wasn't really anything special to them. So we ended up breaking, so we're going to set a Fake and a Treacherous Trap Hole, and then get our Photon Advancer destroyed. Sad. Anyway, we drew into a second Treacherous Trap Hole, and this Luna Light Fusion is going to go off, and they are going to go into Saber Dancer. Emerald Bird is going to summon back the Crimson Fox, which is sad. But guess what? We do end up living. And since we have this Lightning Vortex set, we can just activate that, discard our Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon, and destroy their entire field. Now we've got 2 Treacherous Trap Holes set, so they're going to bring back White Rabbit. They're going to return our Treacherous Trap Hole, which we had set, but we have the second. Now, I activate Treacherous Trap Hole. They can negate it with Crimson Fox because we do end up targeting a Lunalight monster they control. However, there's a little thing here where it says each player gains 1,000 life points. Well, we currently died to 800 attack, but if we gain 1,000, all of a sudden we no longer do. So they're going to obviously negate that because, you know, that's a good idea. So we gain 1,000 and we survive. Now we do have Vanisher, which is half of our combo, and we draw into the other half with Vanisher. They're going to activate Monster Rebone, which basically just gives them Photon Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon, but we have the combo. So we are going to go Thrasher into Vanisher into Galaxy Photon to return the Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon to get ourselves a Burst Stream of Destruction, or sorry, a Photon Stream of Galaxies? A Photon Stream of Destruction. We are then going to XZ summon into Galaxian. Galaxian is then going to summon our Prismatic Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon. Yes, I did happen to get lucky and get a prismatic one, but we then are able to utilize our Photon Stream of Destruction. Now, the biggest thing that I am worried about is our own Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon, so we're going to get rid of this Monster Rebone. Monster Rebone is going to be banished, and it's going to banish our our Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon as well. We're going to clear the board, and then they are going to set a card. We ended up top decking another Photon Stream of Destruction. We're going to banish the set card, and then run into a Karibo. So, they do end up getting to live another turn, but it ends up not mattering because Emerald Bird doesn't do anything on this board. So, there you go. We ended up winning. Congratulations. And here we are up against Yuma and Astral. And we get to go first this time. As you can see, the win streak is up to 2-5. Whoop! Let's go. And we didn't actually draw any spells and traps. However, that will not end up mattering. As you can see, we are able to do the exact same combo, except this time we are also able to add in ourselves the Photon Advancer. So now we are able to go into the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and we are actually going to tuck back this Photon Lizard. Why? Because now we have two Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragons, which are kind of difficult to deal with, but more specifically, it doesn't lose to Book of Moon. If you have one, this back row becomes obsolete because they just Book of Moon you and then you do nothing. However, with two, it plays around Book of Moon very heavily, so do keep that in mind. Also, if they have any sort of other spot removal, it does play around that as well. However, it does lose to big blowout cards like a Lightning Vortex and the like. So, do what you think is best. Most of the time, I ended up going for the double Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon if I could. Especially if I only had the one Photon Stream of Destruction. So we are going to Photon Stream of Destruction and get rid of this Fuma. I knew they had a dual wield set, so it didn't end up mattering all that much, but he returns the Photon Vanisher and the Photon Galaxy, the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and takes the 2500 in order to activate his skill, Zexal Weapon. However, I don't think he actually read his cards, because 1500 is not enough. What he should have done is he definitely should have returned the two Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragons. There was no need for him to actually get his skill activation here, but he does, and now he's got two monsters that we have to contend with. However, we did end up drawing into another Photon Lizard, which allows us to go into the combo once again. So we are able to use the Starliege Lord Galaxian in order to special summon our second Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from the hand. And now we have well over lethal on board. We can get over everything and kill him. So there we go. And here we are up against Seto Kaiba. And Seto Kaiba can only mean one thing. Blue Eyes. As you can see, win streak is up to 9. Nice. Which means if we win this, we're at 10. So, I ended up basically bricking. We got Treacherous Trap Hole to defend us against Blue Eyes, which isn't great. And that's about it. I decided not to set the Photon Advancer because it's better in hand than it is on the field. So they're going to go with Sage with Eyes of Blue into the White Stone of Ancients. Then they are going to summon their alternative. Now, we can just pop their field with Treacherous Trap Hole, which is why it should be banned. And now we have everything that we need. We drew into a Photon Lizard, which gets us the Vanisher and allows us to special summon the Photon Advancer. Photon Vanisher is then able to search out the second Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, which we are going to tuck back for our second Photon Stream of Destruction. We then go into Galaxian in order to special summon from the deck that one that we just tucked back, and now we have two back row that can banish as well as lethal on field. So, all in all, pretty effective. And here we are up against Taya Gardner. This guy's name is Top Deck King, which is hilarious because you will see later in the video that he does not live up to his name. However, we are at the win streak of 10, meaning with this win, that is 11, and then the last one we ended up losing. But all in all, we did end up getting the combo slightly differently. At least in the opening hand, we did end up drawing the Lizard, but all in all, even with the Photon Advancer and the Thrasher, you could still special summon from the deck, and then if you have any other monster, like say you had a second Thrasher or a second Advancer or something like that, you could tuck that back in for your Photon Stream of Destruction. Anyway, it doesn't end up mattering because we go Photon Lizard into Vanisher. Vanisher is going to special summon to search out the second Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. We are going to tuck the other one back in to grab ourselves that second Photon Stream of Destruction. Now, of course, this is Amazonas. We've already established that, and so they have triple back row, and we're just going to target those back row with our Galaxy Eyes. So we're going to special summon the Galaxy Eyes, and then we are going to target the back row, get rid of it, target the back row, get rid of it, and then we are going to, yeah, they're going to chain Onslaught because they're funny. And then we are going to end up summoning our second Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Now, we would have won here if they didn't have the Amazonas willpower, but we do end up taking them down to very low life points, 1,000 I believe, and they have to top deck. They're in top deck situation. So they set their card, and then we just top deck a Photon Stream of Destruction. They did end up getting a Wall of Disruption, but it doesn't end up mattering because of our amazing top deck skill to top deck the third and final Photon Stream of Destruction. Anyway, that is lethal, and we end up beating Amazonas, which this is, I think, the first time I have ever in my entire history, seen Amazonas not draw Princess turn 1. I am not joking. So, all in all, let's do a quick rundown of the deck, or what I think of it. First of all, it's incredibly simple for an OTK deck. There's basically one play, and that's all you really need to know. The rest of it is pretty simple. Also, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon does have a secondary effect where if a monster battles it, or if you battle with it, you can tag it out along with the monster that it is battling, as long as you can target the monster. So, there you go. It's okay, but it does make it a little bit stickier in terms of getting rid of it through battle. Photon Thrasher is really good. Again, you don't need 3, but it is better the more you have. This deck gets better just the more of these you have. You can also play other cards like Photon Crusher, which doesn't special summon itself, but it is 2000 attack, so there's that. You can also play Charge Man, which once per turn you can double this guy's attack, but both of those are normal summons and they're a little bit more inconsistent. So we tend to not play it. Yeah, you could also play more Vanisher, but again, it can be kind of dead along with Lizard. Lizard can kind of be dead sometimes. This was the best ratios that I was able to find. And then as for the tech cards, it's entirely up to you. If you are going up against more back row, you can play Hey Trunade. If you are going up against more, more monsters, you could play Book of Moon or other such stuff. You could even play less Photon Stream of Destruction. Most of the time, I didn't end up needing 3, so there was that. Occasionally, it does come up. But all in all, this deck's incredibly fun. It's really free-to-play friendly, because it also is able to be upgraded with other tech cards, while having the core very, very safe. Which basically means that you can get cards for other decks as well as boosting the consistency of this one. So it's really good. I enjoy it. I think it's fun to play from time to time, and I think that you guys would enjoy it as well. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy it. If you did, a like is very much appreciated, and if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links action, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.